Welcome to 2K Sports, everyone. We have some exciting NBA action coming up. Tonight, we'll see the Miami Heat as they play against the Boston Celtics here in Boston. This is Brian Anderson with Hall of Famers Grant Hill and Doris Burke. Allie LaForce, our reporter. Now a moment to take a look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it's been trending for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, clearly his offensive output has been on a bit of a decline. Now that could point to a lot of things, but mostly I think he's just putting his focus elsewhere on the floor, looking for other ways to help out his team.
And the starting lineup for Miami, Andrew Wiggins is out there with Norman Powell. Then it's Bam Adebayo, then there's Tyler Hero, and it's Mitchell in at the 1. And for Boston, their backcourt, Pritchard and White. At the forward spots, the talented pair of Brown and Tatum. And it's Vucevic in at the 5, down low. All right, Grant, when your team is in the second game of a back-to-back, do you play it differently?
You know, it depends on what happened in the first game. Did your starters have to play a lot of minutes? Did you get into double overtime? It just depends, B.A.
Now here's Mitchell. Off target from outside. Pritchard against Hero. Here's Brown. Rebound Miami. Hero with it. For 3, Powell. And Pritchard pulls it down. Up top, Vucevic. The floater is good.
Well, Nikola Vucevic can score against excellent defense. That is a good finish in close.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Joe Mazzulla. Like everyone, he's impressed with Adebayo's relentless nature. He said, quote, "We have to match his intensity at both ends, trying to keep him off of the glass and trying to keep the ball out of his hands. Coach knows they can do it for stretches, but he wonders if they can do it for a full game." Guys, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Allie. So it's Boston now. Miami making their last shot inside. Here's Tatum, and finished off by Tatum.
You see the level of verticality that Jason Tatum brings to the table. Nice.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Well, thanks. The Heat knew they needed to add more shot creation, and this summer, they went out and got just that. Acquiring Norman Powell, coming off an all-star caliber season with the Clippers, and doing so without giving up much draft capital in return, or even a starter. That has to be considered a home run for the Heat.
A great addition. Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams.
Vucevic knows who he is. This guy is a close scorer, legit threat to finish it with authority.
Here's Mitchell. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. That one on Tatum.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
Miami shooting their first free throws of the night now.
2 shots.
First one falls for him. Hauser, he's checked in for White. And he makes both free throws. The Celtics have gone 3 of 4, off to a nice start. Vucevic, a screen on Hero. Down low. And Vucevic gets it to go on the assist by Brown. 6 points for Nikola Vucevic. Heat trail by 4. Mitchell, the pass to Adebayo from the line. And that one makes him 2 for 2. He's in his rhythm.
And Adebayo isn't merely a low-post threat. He can also hurt you with his jumper.
Pass to Tatum. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. pick by Vucevic. Here's the three. He's off on that one. Miami has gone 0 for 3 from downtown. Mitchell, the pass to Wiggins. That one's good. Mitchell making the play. And it's a tie ball game.
Now, this guy can do it anytime he wants. Andrew Wiggins with broad shoulders to carry the load there.
Vucevic, a screen on Mitchell. Three-pointer, Pritchard. Adebayo grabs the board. The Heat on offense. This is their first chance this season playing Boston. Sends it home from three-point land.
Improved decision-making by Andrew Wiggins, and that makes him an even greater challenge to guard.
And so Joe Mazzulla decides to call a timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. So for Miami, Ware comes in for Bam Adebayo, and Jaime Jaquez is subbed in for Mitchell. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. Vucevic, a screen on Wiggins. To the paint to halt the run. And Vucevic puts it in. Vucevic has got 8 points.
He still hasn't missed. 4 for 4 to start the game.
Hero, the pass to Powell. Back to Hero. Boston pulls it in. They put up a nice win against Toronto last time out.
And you'd have to think that luck played a part in that one. I mean, the opponent had an
Oh, come on.
Well, give them some credit for taking advantage of a weak defense and capitalizing on every mistake.
Bam Adebayo's checked in for Miami. Larson comes in for Hero. From 13, the shot off that time. Vucevic with some nice D. Brown passes to Vucevic. Here's Larson. Back to Powell. Here's Larson. Looking at his stats, he's putting up about 7.5 per game. Gonzalez misses. Here's Larson. No good on the triple. And at the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Miami out in front. They lead by 1. Stay with us now as we get set to bring you quarter number 2 after this. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out ahead in the second quarter. And guys, what's your take on Miami so far?
Well, we've watched them force their way to the line, and it seems to be working so far.
And this is why coaches say be aggressive. As long as you're playing smart, good things tend to happen, even if you're on the road.
Here's Pritchard. No points so far. They've got Peyton Pritchard, and it's Hauser in at the small forward position. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. Here's Garza. Laid it in with a nice touch off the window. And Grant, in recent years, we've seen the pace of the NBA game increasing.
Yeah, it stagnated in the 90s, but it is back. We're still not at the frenetic pace of the 1960s when we see over 120 possessions a game. But the efficiency is at an all-time high.
Here's Adebayo. The Celtics making their last shot, and it's in there. Adebayo's got 6 points.
And what I love about Adebayo is he picks smart shots to take. Just an efficient offensive player.
Left side Pritchard. Shot from the wing, and he comes up with a bucket.
Trading the lead back and forth, neither side is willing to back down.
And right now you love the chess match, right? The ability of each side to adjust to what the other is doing.
Adebayo passes to Smith. Another shot. Connects. The jumper drops. Smith's got his first bucket in this one. Already 5 lead changes here.
Speaks to how evenly matched these teams have been thus far.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls the timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. Tatum, he's checked in for Boston. White comes in for Shireman. Powell, he's checked in for Miami. Mitchell comes in for Smith. Boston trailing. And just about a minute and a half has passed here in the second quarter. Well, plenty of give and take so far.
Yeah, 6 lead changes already. Both teams came to play.
Here's Powell. A 14-point game for him in the win against Brooklyn.
And let's talk about his passing, guys. Let's remember he also did an excellent job of finding guys in their right spots.
Now here's Pritchard. On the wing, Tatum. Quarter 2 and about 2 minutes in. JT
Nice.
for 3.
I'll tell you what, their execution just continues to impress.
Outside Adebayo. Outside Jaquez. Clock at 6. Pass to Adebayo. The 3. Boston pulls it in. When this game is done, they'll be off to Toronto, taking on the Raptors. And that'll be their only game on the road before heading back home. Pritchard, the pass to Queta. 2 shots, 2 makes. Off to a good start.
That's been the story of their offense so far. Getting a number of looks from point-blank range.
Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question, way too many empty possessions for them.
And here's a timeout from Eric Spoelstra now. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy. Tyler Hero's checked in for Miami. These teams have been lighting it up so far. The NBA's top scoring teams. 5th on the list, Miami.
They've been having a great season on the offensive end of the floor. It never takes this team long to put big points up on the board.
Pass to Ware. Powell outside. Miami moving it around. Mitchell finds Jaquez. Hero outside. Looking to win the run. Knocks it down from distance. Hero's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Boston leading by 3. Now here's White. No points yet. Here's Garza. And a missed layup.
Despite the miss, those are the kind of looks coaches hope to create.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bam Adebayo is now the Heat's all-time leader in double-doubles. Bam said, I want to be #1 in some, if not all of these categories. I just have to keep improving and keep chipping away. And then it's just focusing on getting these wins. Guys, back to you.
Good priorities. Thank you very much for the report, Allie. Pritchard,
Oh, come
good.
on.
And so Hero will bring it up for the Miami Heat. They trail by 1. They want to keep rolling here, following the win against Brooklyn.
Yeah, they connected from outside all game, and the defense had absolutely no answer for it.
It's always a good thing when the defense is scrambling.
Nice.
Whenever there was open space on the perimeter, their shooters were able to locate it.
You got to appreciate the consistency. Night in and night out, he brings it.
Where? And he takes that one up and powers it through.
If a teammate's open in the painted area, you give him the basketball. Those are high-quality shots.
To the inside. Here's Queta. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Where was the D right there? The effort lacking big time.
Yeah, and give him credit for taking advantage. In a close game, those are the types of plays that can swing things in your direction. You love it when a guy can put a slow start behind him and begin to ramp it up.
Pritchard surviving the D. Launches a 3. The rebound by Ware. Miami has gone 2 of 6 from distance here in the second quarter. Here's Powell. And that misses. That would have put him up. And Boston pushing it up now. And White finishes off the break. Well done.
Transition basketball, the most reliable way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Celtics out in front. They lead by 3. Let's send it courtside and check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Coach, it's been a hard-fought game. A lot of hustle plays. What gets you over the hump in the second half?
Well, we just have to keep on grinding. That's what this kind of game is like. You know, in many ways it feels like a playoff game. But those plays right there, ball in the air, ball on the floor, we gotta make sure we're dominating those areas and then make some plays.
We'd love to see playoff intensity there in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Allie. Good stuff. We will be right back after this break for the beginning of the third quarter.
Thanks for joining us. The story through the first half, the Miami Heat in a game so far that's been close.
They're getting bullied on the defensive end, but they're still standing. That says something.
Yeah, giving up so many easy buckets. How are they going to still win this game?
Fellas, what do you say we take a look now at the power rankings?
You take a look at the Heat, they're sort of stuck in this same range, right in the middle, here in the middle of the season.
Middling overall, just like your analysis, Kenny.
Woohoo!
Oh, just kidding, my buddy. You're the best, or at least top 30.
Top 30?
That's saying
Top
something.
30?
That does it for halftime. Let's get back to game action. Here's Brian Anderson with the start of the third quarter.
Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. Nikola Vucevic has come to play here in this one.
The numbers say it all. He spent the first half playing efficient ball.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams trying to gain an edge. And on the floor for Eric Spoelstra starting the second half. Tyler Hero is out there with Mitchell. Then it's Norman Powell. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Wiggins in at the 4.
Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
I tell you, you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
Bam doing what he does best.
And once Bam gets the ball inside, the bucket is almost guaranteed. He's a serious producer in the paint.
Powell passes to Adebayo. Powell outside for the tie. The shot misses.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
Mitchell against Pritchard. Here's Vucevic. Oh, great D that time from Adebayo.
But the defense hanging in right there, making that shot really difficult.
Hero with the bucket.
Yeah, rising up on a dime. I love seeing Hero be assertive like this.
Mitchell against Pritchard. Pass to White. Vucevic, a screen on Hero. White for 3. Three-pointer goes up. Three-pointer goes down for White.
Well, that's the intelligence that Derek White plays with. This guy in pick-and-roll action always seems to make the right decision.
A playmaker who can also score in bunches. I'm talking about Derek White, Doris.
I'm so glad you are, PA, because Derek White's big-time shot-making ability under duress of the shot clock. How many times does this guy get the ball with very little time on the clock, and he just stands calmly and delivers shot after shot?
Yep, that one goes.
A nice start to the third. 3 out of 4, and looking good doing it.
Heat trail by 4. Hero outside. Inside, here's Adebayo. And he drains it. A solid 5 for 6 now.
Boy, excellent start to the second half. They've missed just once in 5 attempts.
Outside Pritchard. Vucevic, a screen on Mitchell. Pritchard from outside. Adebayo grabs the board. Adebayo's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Mitchell. Adebayo up top. No good. That would have tied it.
He expects to make every one of those, and we expect him to make them too.
Outside Tatum for three. Adebayo grabs the board. Adebayo's got 7 rebounds in the game. Hero, the pass to Adebayo. Mitchell against Tatum for the tie. And it's Mitchell laying it in. Mitchell's got 7.
Man, they cut off.
They're really being bullied right now defensively. 8 of the last 10 points have come from the inside.
And so Joe Mazzulla decides to call a timeout. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. Hauser, he's checked in for Boston. And Miami with a change here too. Jaquez is checked in. A little under 3.5 minutes off the clock now in the third quarter. Wiggins against Tatum. Here's Hauser. Jaquez grabs the board. The Heat have gotten 5 of 7 attempts in the third quarter. Here's Hero. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Yeah, and this is why Hero was a lottery pick back in 2019, because of how incredible of a scorer he can be.
Brown, that's good. .102 left to play in the third quarter here. Jaquez, the pass to Adebayo. Adebayo, a screen on Pritchard. Back to Adebayo. No good. Vucevic with some nice D. Pritchard with it. Picked up by Powell. Outside Pritchard. Vucevic, a screen on Powell. Pritchard, the pass to Vucevic. And
come on.
By Adebayo. Pass to Jaquez. Three-pointer. Rebound Boston. Brown's got 4 rebounds now. Tatum with a screen. 18 feet out. Up again. Oh, the long arm of the law. Tatum.
One of the hardest, most prideful players out there. Jason Tatum ready to help out on that play.
Hero, no good. It's still anybody's game as we reach the end of 3. Celtics out in front, up 2. And don't go away. We'll be back in a few moments. It'll be the fourth quarter of basketball coming up next. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
Man, I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Tatum at the 4 with Queta in at the 5. Then it's Derek White, then it's Sam Hauser, and it's Gonzalez in at the point. That's the Boston 5.
Man, that's now 10 straight points in the paint. I'm not sure what's happened to their defense.
Doris, Norman Powell has been impressive ever since his younger days.
Well, he put people on notice in high school, right? He wins the dunk contest for San Diego County. He was on 2 All-State teams and won a state championship. And boy, he has proven a scorer in the league.
The Heat with the lead. Pass to Ware. That one's good. Mitchell making the play. Mitchell's got 6 assists here tonight.
I mean, they've been relentless. Just keep getting shots at the rim.
Now here's Tatum. The 3-ball. Drills it from deep.
That's Tatum's size and high release point. He's able to get that 3-point shot off against virtually anybody.
Here's Larson. Buries it down low. And the Heat lead by 2.
They're going at it on offense. Neither team backing down.
I'll tell you, we have seen great execution from both teams. Neither one giving an inch here.
There's Tatum with the 3. Mitchell grabs a miss.
I'll tell you, that's one he typically will make. The defense gets away with one.
Hawkins, nice dish, and the layup goes down. And it's a 4-point Heat lead.
And guys, the way this defense is getting manhandled down low, you have to wonder if they're at 100% right now.
Right side Tatum. Oh, and it's Tatum finishing it off inside.
This continues to be a battle. The lead is within reach.
Yeah, but that's been elusive. They've missed a few plays along the way that they'd love to have back.
And Eric Spoelstra decides to call timeout. He wants their game plan to be crystal clear at this point. And the Heat with some changes. Bam Adebayo's checked in for Ware. Wiggins comes in for Jaquez. And it's Hero in for Larson. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Eric Spoelstra said to the team. He cautioned his guys against forcing things at the arc, saying we can't make a rhythm happen, so don't force it. Take what is coming to you out there. Coach hoping for a renewed offensive focus going forward, guys.
Thanks for that, Allie. Powell for three. And again, no good by Miami.
I'll tell you, he has not been at his best, but they're winning, and that's all that matters.
The kick to Tatum. Pass to White. The three. Yes, sir, with the three.
Love to see Derek White go right up with it off the catch. No doubt right there. Just get the jumper flowing.
Here's Hero. Oh, the lead pass. Great dish.
And force feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
And so it's Pritchard who brings up the ball for the Boston Celtics. Brown on the wing. Vucevic, a screen on Powell. Brown, and no one in the vicinity.
This guy has earned a reputation for handling pressure and making clutch shots.
Outside Hero. Powell. The free ball is down.
Norman Powell on the big-time delivery.
Tatum feeling it out a bit. Picked by Vucevic. Oh, the response from Tatum.
The very definition of their go-to player. Mr. Tatum, ball in your hands. Yes, sir.
Now Hero from deep. Brown pulls down the board. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've played about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Vucevic, yes, sir! Banking in the layup.
Wow, Vucevic with the big-time delivery. The Montenegrin says, that's my shot.
Hero against White. Wiggins fires. Can't hit it.
And even after airtight defense like that, you still just expect him to hit those kind of shots.
Vucevic, a screen on Powell. Brown! And the three misses. Heat trail by 3. Shoots.
I didn't touch him. His role, and that is to be aggressive on the offensive end. Great job drawing contact.
Oh, the first of 2, no good. A heartbreaker. That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line. And that brings him within 2 here.
And they need to play good defense here. That trip to the line helped and hurt.
Vucevic, a screen on Mitchell. Here's Vucevic.
And the stakes were high right there. What?
I'll tell you, that changes things, doesn't it? Good job, young fella. What a game.
And Eric Spoelstra decides to call timeout. And a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. Trailing by 4. Hero looking around. Here's Mitchell. 36 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 6. Hero! Adebayo. Adebayo with a powerful jam.
Rising to the challenge, Adebayo stays under control and hits a big-time shot.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. And an intentional foul right there. He drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
One more.
And so both free throws good, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, 2-possession game now after knocking both of those down.
Miami calls timeout. 23 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. What do you think is going to be their best move at this point?
The strategy is simple. Get a quick score and foul right away.
Everybody has got to be in the exact perfect position defensively, and execution has got to be on point.
They lead by 4. Mitchell. Here's Adebayo. Lots of room. Rebounded by Vucevic. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
And a smart choice right there. I mean, you can't allow them to just drain the clock.
Ooh, he doesn't hit the first. That was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. And he does get the second one. And that puts him up 5. Powell against Brown. Misses the 3. And now we've got an intentional foul. So the first one drops. And that increases the lead to 6. Second one is good, getting both at the line, and it's a 7-point game. And so it's Boston with the W. Boy, they didn't make it easy on their fans or themselves, but at the end of the day, everyone on their side is happy.
Yeah, happy indeed. The momentum shifted away from them a few times, especially early on. But give these guys credit for sticking with the game plan and finishing the job.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Doris Burke, I'm Brian Anderson saying thanks for tuning in. And we present the player of the game, Nikola Vucevic.
PlayStation